Today is the first day of a 3-day trip here in the Smoky Mountains National Park. My brother Matthew came with me, and our first day, I think probably the biggest challenge was finding a parking spot at the Clingmans Dome parking area. But it's about 12 o'clock, and we've got all day, and all we have to get to today is the Silers Bald shelter. But we should have a pretty good time. It's gonna get pretty cold at night. This is, yesterday was Thanksgiving, so this is Black Friday. Temperatures are gonna get cold. And Sunday night, or Sunday, as we hike back out, it's gonna be raining. So we have that to look forward to. Other than that, we should have really good weather, sunshine for 2 days, and cool nights. So we're hoping to have a lot of fun on our 3-day Smoky Mountains trip. This is the Silers Bald shelter. Right now, Matthew and I are the only ones here. So we could be alone tonight here in the shelter, or other people could show up later and we'll have to just share the space with them. Right now, if you have a valid permit, you're allowed to set your tent up anywhere out here in the surrounding area due to COVID. But since we were here first, we're going to sleep in the shelter tonight, and that way we don't have to break down a tent in the morning. This is how all these shelters are in the Smoky Mountains. They're all just platforms for sleeping, and you just share the space with anybody else that comes along. Sweet dreams. So up here we already have cable system so that you don't have to put up you don't have to throw a line. They've already got pulleys set up for you, so your food can be stuck up in the air and safe from bears at night. and somewhat safe from squirrels and smaller animals too. So this area right through here is the spring where you get your water while at the Silers Bald shelter, and they put this pipe in here to help gather and collect the water. This is now the morning of day 2. It didn't get as cold last night as we thought, which ended up being good. It did rain a little bit, but we should have a beautiful day today. We're walking the Welch Ridge trail, and we're going to take it all the way down to the high rocks. It's an overlook. And then follow Bear Creek trail down and camp then some ways up the trail, which will, I'm not sure if it's Forney Creek at that point, but for Forney. Anyways, we'll take Forney Ridge back up to Clingmans Dome tomorrow after we camp somewhere what I think is probably Forney Creek. So this Welch Ridge trail is really sort of flat. You come down a little bit off of the AT. It's pretty steep for a little ways coming down. But now that we're on this ridge here, it's got a little bit of rolling up and down. Really nice trail with behind me, there's views of the mountains behind me. This time of year you can see through the trees real well, and it's making for a really nice cool morning hike. So this here is what this Welch Ridge trail has been like almost this whole time. We've had one really big climb behind us, and we're on a pretty steep climb right now, but most of it's been pretty flat along the ridge, and I don't know if you can see through the trees, but all around and pretty much on both sides there, you've been able to see mountains both ways. So this time of the year is really nice because there's not so many leaves that block your view. The Welch Ridge has been a really enjoyable walk. We're now at the end of the High Rocks Trail, and they were so kind to leave a little stairway for us at the last bit. And a nice chair so we can sit down and enjoy the view. We went up to the High Rocks overlook, and that was well worth the hike. And now we've backtracked and we're on the Bear Creek Trail going down. And for the rest of the day, we will be going down to Forney Creek. And our campsite is on Forney Creek. And so the rest of the day, it looks like the sun's in our favor. Gravity's in our favor. And like I said before, it's been a beautiful day to hike. So I'm starting to think that iodine tablets is the way to go for a short trip like this, for weight and simplicity. This is the water I got from Silers Bald this morning, and I put 2 iodine tablets in it, and it's just been in my pack squishing around while I've been drinking from the other one. I'm gonna put 2 clarifier tabs in this now, and it'll make this water in just a short amount of time clear, and it totally removes the iodine taste. So two little pills the size of a baby aspirin. And I'll put this back in my pack, and by the time I'm drinking this other one, this one will have shaken up. This one will have shaken up, and it'll be crystal clear. It's just 2 bottles like this size for your water filter. You can't hardly beat that for a weekend trip. And I think the active ingredient in this is ascorbic acid. And so I'm gonna have to check, and that's not vitamin C. That's So while Welch Ridge up there had a very soft feel to the foot, a lot of leaves would cushion your steps, and the ground was loose, this Bear Creek Trail, pretty hard packed, and it has a lot of baseball-sized rocks, little rollers that'll could easily roll your ankle if you're not careful. And they're usually hiding just underneath a pile of leaves. So while it's somewhat easier going downhill, it's a lot more difficult worrying about twisting your ankle. But I think we'll manage. So I just finished this bottle of water. And it wasn't about 15 minutes ago. But here's that bottle of water that was all cloudy. It's 15 minutes ago, and after putting those treatment caplets in, it's clear. Now, there is still a little bit of a treatment tablet floating around in there, but it won't hurt you. And I'm not kidding when I say that you can't taste the iodine in there. So for size and efficiency, this is definitely, I don't know if it's going to be my go-to way to filter water or to treat water, but I'm going to have to give it some consideration of whether or not it will be my go-to treatment method. So I'm going to go take this bottle down to that creek or stream or river, I'm not sure what they call it. I'm going to fill up another bottle of water, treat it with some iodine, and it'll be ready to drink by the time I get to camp. Here's how we're gonna set up our shelter tonight. I've got this pup tent style bug screen that we could put up, but we're not going to. We're gonna lay on top of it, use it as our floor, and then we'll close this back up, snap it shut in the front, and hopefully get enough ventilation that we're not all soaking wet in the morning. So this is gonna be home for the night. You can see the obvious difference between where our tent was set up and the moisture in the air and all the condensation that came. It didn't rain last night. That's all from just the humidity. So we had both ends of our shelter open, and it's still got a lot of condensation inside the tent. Just being down here this close to this river saturated everything overnight. So we're just about all packed up. We're about to head back up to Clingmans Dome, or start our trip to Clingmans Dome. We go up Springhouse Branch Trail, where it meets with Forney Ridge Trail, and up. So it's about a 4,000 foot elevation gain today, I think, from what I could tell. About 4,000 feet that we have to climb in somewhere close to 10 miles. So it's going to be a steep uphill climb all day. But we're packed up and well rested and ready to go. We're starting to get to some, I think we're about at 3,600 feet now. So according to our map, we've got another 3,000 to go and about 8 miles. So the line should kind of flatten out. It's going to be uphill all the rest of the way, but because of the distance and the height that we need to get, it's going to flatten out a little bit from where we've been to where we are now. So, did I say it was going to be uphill all day? Because it's been uphill, and it's going to be uphill all day. So, this mountain back here, one of these peaks here, I think it's this one right here, is that High Rocks peak we were at yesterday. And then we went down in the valley, we camped somewhere down there. We've been doing our hike today. And we think, I'm pretty sure, that out there, that far point there is Clingmans Dome, our target area. It makes sense for the GPS map that we have. The point in that way is Clingmans Dome, so that's where we're headed. This is Andrew's Bald.